Hi, this is Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. This is going to be a solo tutorial actual play featuring the solo RPG Splatter Shack. This is pretty much a tribute or a homage to Splatterhouse, that old video game, Splatterhouse 1, 2, and 3. Because there is a reboot, but this is mostly focused on the retro games or old school games. In that game, you play as this man that fused himself to a demonic mask. He turns into pretty much bootleg Jason. He's quite monstrous, and he fights all sorts of horrors trying to rescue his girlfriend. These horrors are references to many things that you would see in horror films and whatnot. Definitely, please check out my review featuring Splatter Shack. The link is going to appear in a pinned comment. I have already created my character, and funny enough, I actually obtained Jason because the elements to create your character are random for the most part, except when it comes to the skills. But the name, the items that you start with, they are random. And I obtained Jason and the Goalie mask, because you can also obtain the Skull mask and the Demon mask. But this is the Goalie mask that grants me a bonus in armor. I also obtained the Chainsaw, which is more Evil Dead, but okay. I obtained a leather jacket as well that also grants me a bonus to armor. Because this solo RPG is pretty much video game in TTRPG format, I'm going to try to represent that as much as possible. It could be a bit challenging. I will refer to Jason, to the player character, as you when I am in Game Master mode. Because even though this is a solo RPG, you still need to run it. And it is not as freeform as, for example, What Lies Beneath the Darkness. If you haven't seen my other solo tutorials, please check out the pinned comment. You will also find them there, and my link to the actual my playlist of the actual plays, or the playlist sections. And I'm going to be describing my actions as I play as the player character, while keeping that video game ambience or mood going. It's going to be quite fun. I am also going to be, before we begin, I am also going to give you some information on how things proceed, because that way you can play this solo RPG knowing more or less the flow of play. You will be familiar with the flow of play. Just a warning, this is going to contain spoilers for the solo RPG when it comes to the storyline. The replayability of this solo RPG lies in the randomness of the enemies, the hazards, the objects, but the storyline doesn't change. So that is going to be spoiled. So just keep that in mind. And so it begins. The intro screen appears. Text starts to scroll downwards. Chiptune music is heard. Eerie music. The plan was to take your honey to a remote cabin in the woods for a romantic retreat. A massive rainstorm erupted on the way there. The car got stuck in the mud. In the deep of the woods, you flooded the engine trying to move forward. No other choice left but to get out and do the rest on foot. You told your lover you'd be back in a jiffy. Then you ventured in the dark, with nothing else than your flashlight and the soaking wet clothes on your back. A 20-minute walk, more or less, separated you from the cabin. A pair of traction aids was waiting for you in the cellar. But that's not the only thing you found in the cellar. More precisely, something in the cellar found you. Red letters on screen, dripping blood. Read. A mask! A hell mask! It fused itself to your face, transformed you into a rage-filled monster, an unstoppable killing machine. I grab at my face, trying to pull off the mask. It's pointless. And I yell. Then I laugh maniacally. I look around the room and find a chainsaw and a leather jacket. I put them on, put on the jacket, strap the chainsaw to my back. Nightmarish visions assaulted your mind, demons pouring into our dimension like an infection, twisted abominations slaughtering humans like cattle, enslaving their souls to serve hell for all eternity. Among those fragile human prey, one face too familiar, Justine, your one true love, held captive by demonic monstrosities somewhere in a deep, dark pit under the cabin. You ran as fast as you could on the dirt road. The screen changes, displaying the woods and the downpour. The road has been made slippery by the rain. Half blinded, panicked, in the stormy night you go, leaving behind that cabin. You could have sworn the cabin was laughing diabolically at your desperation. When you finally arrived at the car, lungs burning, head spinning, your worst fear became reality. Justine was nowhere to be found. The door on her side of the car had been ripped open. Claw marks had left deep scratches in the paint. Then the cabin burst in laughter again. It is heard throughout the forest. You headed back there, the fury of 1,000 men burning in your chest. The hell mask hugged your face a little tighter. It whispered something in the back of your mind about vengeance, about retribution, paid in blood. Red letters on screen read, "Rivers of blood." Whatever had taken Justine was gonna pay for their crime. As you made your way back to the cabin, you swore to let nothing stop you. There will be hell to pay. The screen changes, and red letters dripping blood appear, reading, "Stage 1, the blood pit." Text scrolls. Even from outside, you can tell that the shack doesn't look right. The front windows look like angry, frowning eyes, glowing with pure hate. The old entry door is torn to bits. All that's left on the door frame are sharp splinters of wood, resembling pointy fangs in a ghastly mouth. It's going to take more than that to keep you out. Making a doom roll. Once inside, you find a scene straight out of a psychopath's nightmares. All the furniture has been trashed, as if a tornado had redecorated the whole room, and there's blood everywhere. Everywhere. That means floor, walls, and even the ceiling. Red letters appear on screen. All shades of blood. Fresh red blood. Crusty, clotted, brown blood, putrid, black, chunky blood. The text on screen continues. Every door and hallway out of what used to be a large living room has been erased. The only apparent way out of the room is a large stone well, smack dab in the middle of the room. Of course, that stone well was never here until now. You would have noticed. especially since a cavernous gurgling sound can be heard coming from its opening. That well rumbles like a volcano on the verge of erupting. In fact, it does erupt. The stone well pukes out a powerful geyser of thick, odorant blood that hits the ceiling and rains down. It rains down on the room and everything inside of it, including you. Rolling on the room contents table. Jumping from out of the well, a muscle-bound, decaying undead charges at you. I take my chainsaw, turn it on, ring, 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 and cut forward horizontally with a roar. It connects with the creature's abdomen. Blood is sprayed everywhere. But the creature is still standing. I roar. I say dislodge the chainsaw. The creature gurgles, but throws itself at Jason with a hiss. With my right hand, I attempt to grab the creature by the shoulder, and with my left arm, I drive the chainsaw upwards into its chest. It connects, spraying blood everywhere. The creature is no more, collapsing in a bloody heap. I take a moment to steady myself. I make my way inside of the well, descending as carefully as possible. The screen changes. Red letters appear on screen. Stage 2, the sewer. The blood pit is deeper than you expected. Fortunately, you finish your fall in a large pool of warm liquid. Yeah, you guessed it. More blood. The text continues to scroll. A pool of congealed hemoglobin. You spit the disgusting fluid that got in your mouth, forgetting that you are wearing a mask and it just trickles down your chin. That shit is in your hair, your ears, your eyes, and every goddamn orifice of your body. Better not think too long about it and get out of there as soon as possible. Thankfully, this pool is pretty shallow and not very large. You make your way out, wipe most of that crap off of you before inspecting your surroundings. Sewers. You're in the dark, damp, filthy, gore-filled sewers of this hellhouse. An underground maze of tunnels and pipes designed to flush out all the blood and filth spilled in this godforsaken place. Making a doom roll. Your eyes become accustomed to the darkness, and you start to see misshapen forms moving around in the noxious tunnels, getting closer and closer to you. Rolling on the room content table. A flesh abomination, grotesque, crawling, a mountain of rotting flesh, fat, oozing with vile and fused body parts that wants to swallow and digest you. The text reads, Like a blob, it grows bigger and stronger. The abomination throws itself at Jason. I meet it, running towards it, cutting downwards with the chainsaw. Fatality. The chainsaw bites deep. The monster lunges once more, a gaping maw full of sharp, pointy teeth, attempting to swallow Jason whole. You move out of the way and fitted the cold steel of your chainsaw instead. Snack on this, you rotten piece of dog shit! The blade of your sticky power tool slices its way down to the back of the head of the creature, one of its heads. Its body drops to the ground, with its tongue stupidly wiggling around in its ruthless mouth, blood squirting from its ruptured arteries like a goddamn fountain. It falls completely to pieces. I laugh for a moment as the mask overtakes me. I continue walking into the darkness, my supernatural sight allowing me to see in front. The screen changes. Red letters appear and read, Stage 3, The Cells. Text scrolls. You find yourself in a large room, crudely lit by neon lights. It reeks of sweat, grass, piss, and shit. Green flies about half the size of your fist are buzzing around your head frantically. Concrete walls, floor and ceiling, half a dozen tiny cells, locked. A metal door with rusted doors. 2 are empty. The 4 others are occupied by gray-skinned, famished captives with death in their eyes. Justine ain't one of them. Where is she? Where did they take her? Only one way to find out. Hack and slash your way through this door and keep moving forward. Time to make a desperate move. Rolling on the doom table. A sound is heard. Rolling on the room content. Carelessly, you stumble into a spike pit. I quickly attempt to jump at the last moment as the center of my mass is pulling me into the spiked pit. Failing to do so in time, I fall into the pit, into the spikes. Jason's supernatural condition and the leather jacket protected him. I climb out with the sheer strength of each of my monstrous fingers. As Jason makes it out, he can hear the sound of something coming. From out of the darkness, a muscle-bound, decaying undead charges alongside another flesh abomination, just like before. I whip out My chainsaw cutting across in front of me. Missing both creatures. The muscle-bound horror throws a meaty fist at Jason's face, inflicting a terrible crack upon his head. I immediately recover as the next attack follows up. The abomination shoots out a fleshy tentacle with a bone shard at the very end of it. The bone dives deep into my abdomen, inflicting a terrible acidic wound. It leaves a trail of green liquid. In rage, I lunge forward and cut horizontally, attempting to take both enemies with a single swipe. Pointless. The muscle-bound creature dives almost headfirst into Jason. Almost knocking down Jason with the sheer strength of the blow. The abomination shoots another tentacle with a bone shard at the end of it. It almost makes its way all the way through Jason's torso. Taking the tentacle with the right hand, I slash downwards with my chainsaw. Failing completely. Distracted by that, Jason fails to notice the other creature trying to elbow him in the back. But the leather jacket does its job and keeps Jason safe. The fleshy abomination pulls out the tentacle savagely, throwing acid from many pores, and Jason melts into nothing. Game over. You can't win them all. And I was in level 3 in this third stage. How many stages are there? Well, yes, 2 more after this one. That's too bad. But it was pretty fun. It was very fun to visualize. Sadly, I didn't get any fatalities because they are quite gory and spectacular, and they managed to... Didn't I get one? No, I think I did get one. Yes, I think I got one. Yes, those are amazing. You can really visualize or feel as if you are there cutting the monsters, and you get into the monstrous attitude of the mask. Sadly, yes, I really wanted to win that fight. Maybe I should try that one again. Well, if I play it again, I'm going to play it normally. I think this solo tutorial gives you more or less the idea on how to play this game. I have already explained that in the review. Please check out my review in the pinned comment. You are going through the different stages. You make a roll on the doom table to see if there is some sort of object, some special object. Sometimes you can find things to heal you or to assist you, but we got unlucky this time. You also roll on the room content when indicated to see if there are hazards, the monsters. No, these monsters are really tough when you fight against two of them. The difficulty goes up, and they all attack they attack at the same time. Of course, it's a very desperate situation. The worst outcome when you roll two monsters. But definitely very fun game, perfect game for Halloween. I highly recommend it. I will have to finish it one of these days. I need to finish it. Either way, like I said, I hope it serves as an example on how to run things. I was trying to, even though I have to keep attention, pay attention to the armor of the monsters, my own armor, my hit points, the hit points of the monsters. When you're playing by yourself, you don't need to play it as fast as I did. I just tried to do it as fast as possible for the sake of the pace of this video. But definitely take your time, savor the moments, the way you are visualizing things. I really like the description. I like all of the descriptions, but the cells area, I imagined it quite well. The darkness and the metal bars, the flies. It felt a lot like the old video game, the old school, the Splatterhouse 1. One of the stages of Splatterhouse 1. And there are many references to Splatterhouse here. So yes, definitely, I highly recommend that you play this RPG. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment as well. All of the information is going to be there. I'm going to put my links to my other tutorial, solo actual play tutorial videos, my normal actual plays. Please check out those links. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character. I just failed. I failed in character. Poor Jason. And I thought I was going to get lucky because of the name Jason and the goalie mask. Oh well. And not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you. And see you later.